Animal Man number 18, written by Jeff Lemire, art by Steve Pugh. Last issue was the end of the Rot World series in Swamp Thing number 17, and it left off with Buddy and Alec basically being told by the Lords of the Rot, hey, we don't like Anton anymore. Go back and follow him through time and stop him, and we will send you guys back as well. And they're like, okay. So we see Buddy jumps into the portal, and he goes through, the time portal. He sees everybody in the rot because, the world was taken over. And he's like, this is too crazy for me. Too messed up. I'm just going to keep on plowing through because I just need to focus on getting back to my family, getting back to the moment to save them. And he arrives back to now in the DC universe, and he pops out a portal and lands right next to the RV that his family was taking cross country. And when he lands, his arm breaks, and it's gruesome. Like the bone is popping through the arm. And as he looks down, he sees this little rot creature, just this piece of like goo basically, leap up and grab onto his face. And he's like, nope, not dealing with that. Picks it off, throws it down, and he pulls into the red, which is now far stronger because, the rot's not taken over yet. And he gets to Bloodhound in order to find his family. And he uses like speed of a cheetah and everything like that. And he recounts how when his son Cliff was a kid, there was this art book he found of how you could make animals out of just like handprints and stuff like that. And he would make an entire collage of all these animals. And every time that Buddy thinks about these animals to call on them in the red, the visual is Cliff's artwork. He always has that in his head. So he makes his way through the woods over the river, and he comes to the barn where Maxine is facing down the hunters who have her family hostage, and she's willing to give herself up in exchange for her family's safety. And she just made the agreement. Her mom, brother, and grandmother are all free. And they see Maxine is about to give herself up, and she's saying it's the only way. Her mom screams out. She's about to be bitten, but then, boom, Buddy busts in the door, and he's like, you guys are going down. And he's like, well, now, hold on. Anton said he was going to take care of you, and then this world would be ours. Like, this isn't fair. And Maxine just uses her red powers to basically bitch slap one of the hunters, just saying, like, be quiet. So the hunters are knocked out. One of the hunters is knocked out. The other one goes and attacks Buddy, and they start going at each other. Meanwhile, William Arcane starts using his rot abilities to kill Ellen and causing her to die. And then Maxine just comes up again, uses her abilities, and punches Arcane through a wall, saying, you've been a bad, bad boy. So Arcane's pissed off, and he's yelling at the hunters, and he's like, hey, I'm with my uncle, and he said he's going to give me all the C's, and you have to listen to me because I'm an Arcane. And the hunters are like, Arcane screwed up. We don't know how, but he screwed up. We're done here. And they just bitch slap Arcane aside. And Buddy's like, guys, he's kind of a dick, but he's still a kid. Like, you shouldn't be doing that to a kid. So he goes in, and Buddy leaps, and he starts attacking the hunters. Meanwhile, Socks talks to Maxine and basically says, like, hey, Maxine, your dad can't do it on his own. He needs your abilities. You got to get in there and do something. And Cliff picks up a board from the shed, which has been torn apart by this point. He comes in trying to use it to attack the hunters, not really doing much of anything, to the point where Buddy says, how about you back off? How about you just go over there? How about you stay away from the fight? And so Socks is still arguing that Maxine is the only one who can stop this. She has to be the one to take out the hunters. And Ellen's like, no, I'm not letting her be a part of this. She's just a little girl. And Socks is like, you don't understand. She is so much more than that. She is the all-mother. She is the giver of life. You have to let her be what she is. And so Maxine uses her powers to control life and basically slog off the rot to see the hunters and see what they were underneath. And so she uses her abilities and forces the rot off of them, gets them back to what they previously were. She fixes her dad's arm in the process. And underneath it all are two guys wearing these skin-tight, like, almost looking like diving suits. And they mentioned something about Project Taproot and the Ascension Chamber, and they have no idea like where they are or what happened in the in-between. And Buddy talks to Socks. He's like, I thought you said these guys were like previous Animal Men. Who are these? What's Taproot? What's Ascension Chamber? And Socks is like, I don't know. This is weird. I genuinely have no idea what's going on. So Buddy's celebrating with his family that everything's okay, and he starts apologizing to his wife, and Ellen's like, I can't. You keep on apologizing and saying this will never happen again, but it just keeps on happening again. Like, we can't keep doing this. And then we see William Arcane start to get up, and he's charging after Buddy from behind. He's about to use his powers on him, and Cliff comes in and elbows him in the face, taking a lethal blow to the chest while he's at it. So Cliff collapses. William's like, oh, you'll never escape. The death always wins, Buddy Baker. Death always wins. And he just snaps his own neck, it seems. So Cliff is dying in his mother and father's arms. And he's like, oh, Dad, I did it. I saved you. I was a hero just like you. And that's where it ends, is Cliff dies. Sucks. I mean, I was never too big on the character of Cliff to begin with. I feel like out of everyone in this book, barring maybe the grandmother, he was given the least amount of development, but he was still given development. And especially in this issue, you could tell it from the very beginning when he's talking about like, oh, my son did all these paintings and whatnot. It's like, okay, yeah, someone's not making out of this, and it's pretty easy to see who. It's touching. It hurts. It's completely avoidable, but I guess that's kind of the point of it, is that this stuff is just going to happen, especially in a family where they are fighting against literal death gods. So yeah, overall, I got to give this one, I feel like I want to say 8.5, but that feels a bit too high, because while it is still good, it is an epilogue. It is something where it's setting up the future of the book, while in itself is not that big on its own. So I am just going to lower this down to an 8 flat, but it is fantastic. And I think in terms of being the true finale to the rot world of Animal Man, it's crushing. It's a really heart-wrenching ending to it, but it is kind of the only way it could have ended. So yeah, I'm always interested in seeing what more this book has in store.